AM 1430 KRGI and 105.5 FM. Good morning. I'm Brian Gallagher. This is Community Connection. Thursdays, our focus turns to education. Here to talk about Grand Island Public Schools, Superintendent Matt Fisher, with two key words. We got to talk about the board, and we got to talk about the budget.
We do get to talk about both those things today.
All right, let's do the board first.
All right. We do have board meeting tonight. Just our regular September board meeting is on for tonight. Not a real full agenda by any means. We get to do the oath of office for our new student board member. That's always exciting to bring on a new student board member. Catherine Zakara Ramos is a senior at GIPS, and she was selected by her classmates to be their representative. That's something we changed here a couple of years ago. We now have the students actually elect who that student board member is going to be. So we're excited to have her join us, and so that will happen tonight. Other than that, we get to adopt some new science standards. Periodically the Nebraska Department of Education updates their science standards, and then we either adopt their standards or standards that are equivalent to theirs. So we're going to go through that adoption process tonight.
I'll admit, I have never considered what the science standards are or should be. Even when I was a student, I remember chemistry classes, picking up a piece of hot glass and learning never to do that again. But otherwise, the ones you mix, the ones you shouldn't mix, and there's a reason why, and usually smell those. Uh-huh. But otherwise, as far as the other science standards, what are some of the things that they give you guidance on? I mean, is this like, the working with frogs and things like that?
Well, there are science standards for all grade levels. So at the different grades, we are supposed to be covering different science concepts. And then that's when we do state testing. Those state tests are around the standards that have been put in place. So yeah, some of them could be understanding the parts of a frog. That's one of those typical biology dissections is a frog. And so, there's probably a certain part of the standards that are around that. I'm not sure if there's a standard on knowing not to pick up hot beakers or not, but
the life lesson will last forever.
Yes,
I promise.
There are life lessons out there too that certainly have as much value as the standards probably. But yeah, we do have standards in every grade level. We've got them for you've got them for all of the different core subjects. You've got math standards, you've got English language arts standards, and PE standards. We've got standards in really just about every curricular area. And then periodically those standards get updated, and that's what's happening here. We've had NDE science standards in place for a number of years, but they've just done an update of those, and so now we're required to adopt those updated standards.
So the analysis has been done and the decision is delivered tonight?
Yeah, it pretty much. There's not a lot of option. Either we come up with our own standards or we adopt the state standards. And we've been in, adopting the state standards. And, I guess unless we see something truly objectionable about the state standards, that's probably where we're going to be.
Well, at least that part's taken care of. Okay, Here comes the real fun part, the budget.
Yeah. Well, no, we got a couple other things.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on.
We've got. We're gonna consider adding Wood River to our bowling co-op. So we've got that to consider tonight.
Okay.
We've got some other policies to review. That's always exciting stuff.
He says with a smile in his eye.
And that's pretty much it. We'll have a couple reports. We'll get a report from our new student board member. We'll get a report on the foundation, and I give a little report, and then we'll call it a night. And then we can talk about budget.
Okay, now we talk about the budget.
So we are kind of in that budget season. We do have a workshop, and then we have a couple of hearings that we're required to have. That will be on next Thursday, the 18th. We've got that workshop and those hearings. And then once we do that, then on Monday the 22nd, we would have our budget adoption and tax levy setting. And so those things are coming up. That's all part of the process. Good thing to report around the budget. We did have an increase in valuation, which everybody that saw that increase in valuation knows that. They already got that. But, as a consumer of the valuation, we don't have anything to do with setting the valuation. But then obviously the valuation drives what we do with the levy. So, with the increase in the valuation and some additional dollars that we receive from the state, we are going to be able to lower our levy again this year. We've done that the last couple of years. So again, we're going to be able to lower the levy this year. We're going to ask for lower levy in our general fund. We're going to be able to lower the levy in our bond fund. We're going to be able to lower the levy in our qualified capital purpose undertaking fund. But then knowing that we have some significant facility projects and facility repair issues that we are going to be undertaking, we are going to look to increase our levy and our building fund somewhat. But the end result is going to be that we're going to have an overall lowering of the levy.
So how soon do you feel like you'll be able to get to the final decision as far as your plan or request?
Well, I think, when we do that budget workshop on the 18th, that's pretty much where the board is going to figure out, okay, this is what we are going to request in terms of tax dollars for the coming year.
So realistically, before the end of the month?
Yeah, before the end of the month. We have to submit our budget to the state on the 20th of September. And so it's coming right up.
Yeah, a little over a week. Oh, man, the wheels just never stop turning, do they?
Yeah, it keeps running right by.
Okay. Anything else we need to really cover today?
I don't think so. Like I said, the school year's off to a good start. I think everybody's kind of settled into a routine, and we're off and going, and things seem to be going really well.
Well, let's not interrupt that progress then. So,
for sure.
Matt Fisher, Superintendent of Schools from Grand Isle Public, always a pleasure.
Thanks, Brian.
Good morning from AM 1430 KRGI 105.5 FM.